Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving into something I know a lot of you have been thinking about, launching an online business. We're going to take what usually feels like this massive, impossible mountain to climb and break it down into a super clear, actionable roadmap. If you're the kind of person who loves structured learning, you're in the right place. Let's get right into it. Come on, let's be totally honest here. How many times have you had this sudden spark of genius, turned to your friend, and confidently declared, I should start a business, right? We've all been there. It's such a universally relatable dream. But as we all know, there is a very big difference between that initial exciting spark and the gritty reality of actually launching a successful venture. And that's exactly what this explainer is focused on, bridging that huge gap between the dream and the reality. Now, if you need a little push to get off the sidelines, just take a look at this number. $2 billion. That was the massive amount of revenue generated by online businesses back in 2018. $2 billion. And with the absolute explosion of digital storefronts since then, that pie has literally only gotten bigger. So if you were looking for the vital why behind your entrepreneurial dream, well, there it is. To make this massive undertaking totally manageable, we've neatly organized the journey into 4 main phases: building your blueprint, making it legal, marketing and selling online, and finally, funding your business dream. Okay, let's dive into phase 1, building your blueprint. Our source lays out this really neat 6-step framework. It takes you all the way from your initial planning right through to funding. Having this kind of chronological scaffolding is amazing because you always know exactly what's coming next, so you never really get overwhelmed. This is where those grand ideas of yours finally start taking a tangible shape. And the absolute bedrock of that framework is your business plan. You're going to need your financial projections, some basic legal documentation, a clear definition of your product line, and a sharp competitor analysis. But here is the golden rule: keep it simple. Because your business functions entirely online, you get to skip all those heavy brick-and-mortar headaches, like negotiating rent. So lean into that advantage. Keep this plan focused and use it as a quick, effective point of reference. Moving right along to phase 2, making it legal. Okay, so this is the reality check of the dream. We're stepping out of the fun brainstorming phase and into the gritty legal structures. Your choice here is a big deal because it dictates your liability. A sole proprietorship is incredibly simple to set up, but your personal income takes the hit for any liabilities. Partnerships let you share the load with someone else, while an LLC gives you that really flexible flow-through tax treatment. Making the right choice right now is absolutely foundational because it forms the shield that protects you as you operate. Once your structure is locked in, you've got to secure your name. Depending on your setup, you might need a DBA, but whatever you do, please do not overlook getting a trademark. It usually costs under $300. And listen, you aren't just checking off a boring, dry legal chore here. You are building an impenetrable fortress around your brand identity. It is literally the cheapest security system you'll ever buy, making sure no one else in the digital space can swoop in and steal your hard-earned name. Next up, let's rapidly cut through the alphabet soup of permits and taxes. To legally collect sales tax online, you're going to need a seller's permit, an EIN, you've got to handle self-employment tax, and potentially excise tax, depending on your specific inventory. I know, it looks a bit heavy, but honestly, most of these are free and really straightforward to apply for through your state's Department of Revenue. Keep a light heart about it, it's really just a checklist. All right, deep breath, we made it out of the legal woods. That brings us to phase 3, marketing and selling online. So who exactly are you selling to? You already know what a buyer persona is, but when it comes to the actual digital execution space, this is your absolute bedrock. If you don't deeply, intimately understand your target audience's web behavior, you know their challenges, their specific digital pain points, then your marketing budget is essentially just shooting in the dark. Once you figure out the who, you've got to nail down the where. Think about it. You definitely wouldn't execute the same business strategy on Instagram's visual playground as you would in LinkedIn's professional boardroom. You have to actively align your social media presence with exactly where your target audience hangs out and how they shop. Now let's talk about the technical necessities that actually build your storefront. Your online toolkit absolutely requires a mobile responsive website, simply because a massive portion of your audience is going to be shopping straight from their phones. You'll also want a strong content management system, something like HubSpot, ideally with built-in lead generation to keep your costs down. And critically, you need trusted, compliant payment gateways. Prioritizing a seamless user experience with checkouts people already recognize is exactly what drives conversions. Which brings us to our final section, Phase 4,
funding your business dream.
Okay, so we have the plan, the legal standing, and the storefront all mapped out. But what does it actually take to turn a profit and afford essential inventory? Well, the ultimate self-reliant move here is bootstrapping. You know, this means financing it yourself or with the help of friends, but the strategic leverage of this really cannot be overstated. You eliminate outside capital, which means you retain 100% equity and total control of your brand new empire. However, if bootstrapping won't quite cut it for you, there are distinct external avenues you can explore. Crowdfunding on platforms like Kickstarter trades early access perks for cash. Pitch accelerators offer capital and amazing networking if you can survive the gauntlet to get in. Small business loans work beautifully if you have an airtight budget. Or you could look into seed financing, which literally trades a share of company stock for an investor's backing. Every single one of these avenues has its own unique trade-offs, so you want to choose your leverage wisely. Well, we've decoded the comprehensive source material and built the framework together. You now have the structured roadmap right in front of you. So I want to leave you with this final provocative question to think about. What is stopping your winning idea? Take this structured knowledge, stop just saying, I should start a business, and finally go out there and build it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.